Good morning everybody, this is Chef Shant. Welcome back to another YouTube video. So as I promised, I have a big recipe planned for today. We are making one of the most famous Italian desserts in the world. It is tiramisu. So I'm very excited to share this recipe with you. I used to always make it with my mom back in the day. And now I'm going to try to make it for the first time on my own. So we will see. And yeah, what's great about this recipe is that you don't need an oven. So it's a recipe eaten cold. We're just going to put it in the fridge after we're done and serve it the following day. So let's get started with the ingredients. So here are the ingredients we're going to need. Obviously, we're going to need our mascarpone cheese. We're going to need 475 grams, which is basically this one container. We're going to need 150 grams of sugar. I separated into two containers, so 75 grams each. I'll explain to you why in a bit. We're going to need 6 eggs. And we're going to have to separate the egg whites and the egg yolks. We're going to need 1 cup of espresso sweetened. So I just brewed espresso and just added a bit of sugar in it so that it won't be too bitter. We're going to need some cocoa powder. This is to sprinkle on top after we're done. We're going to need 15 ounces of Savoiardi ladyfingers. Or I say 15 ounces, but at the end of the day, if you use a smaller baking dish, you will need less. But on average, the average sizes I saw, and it's basically 2 of these packages. One should be good for 1 layer, and the second one will be good for the other layer. So 15 ounces of that. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get started. So actually, before I forget, the first thing you want to do is actually to brew your coffee, because the coffee has to be room temperature or even cold when we dip the ladyfingers in it. So do this first before starting with the eggs. The first thing we're going to do is we're actually going to take 2 bowls. One where we're going to put our egg whites and one we're going to put the egg yolks. I actually suggest putting the egg yolks in the bigger bowl because at the end of the day we're going to fold the white into the yolks. So I will keep this one for the yolks and the small one for the white. And a cool gadget I have is this little, I guess it's a baby chicken. So you crack the egg in it and then it would spew out the egg white from here and only egg yolk is left, and then we'll just dump that in there. So I'm not going to lie, I don't think I did that good of a job. I got a bit of egg yolk in the white mixture. It's not too bad. I hope it won't prevent me from making firm peaks. And then I have my egg yolk mixture over here. So the first thing we're going to do is to put our 75 grams of sugar that we separated into the egg white mixture. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a hand mixer and then whisk this very well until we have firm peaks. So I finished whisking the egg white together with the hand mixer. So as you saw, I had dropped a few egg yolk pieces in it, so I was not able to get firm peaks, but I did get close to somewhat of a soft peak. I was mixing for like at least half hour, but I think it should be fine. It still created a lot of air, so the egg white is quite airy, which is I guess what we want at the end of the day. I'm going to continue now with the egg yolks. So in our egg yolk mixture, we're going to add the other 75 grams of sugar, and we're also going to add our 475 grams of mascarpone cheese. So I'm just going to scoop it out. Perfect. And that's it. Perfect. And then now we're going to do the same thing with the hand mixer. We're just going to mix it all together. So now that our egg yolk mixture, mascarpone, and sugar is well incorporated, we're just going to put this to the side, and I'm going to take my egg white mixture that is not, unfortunately, too fluffy, but I think it would do the job. And I'm going to take a spatula and I'm just going to, yeah, it's pretty good. Look, so it's still quite fluffy even though a bit of egg yolk went in. So I'm just going to gently fold it in to the egg yolks. We don't want to mix it too hard so that it will deflate. So just slowly, just going to add and mix. So now that we folded in all of our egg whites into our egg yolk batter, this is what it looks like. It's still nice and foamy and thick and creamy. We're going to set this aside and we're going to start with our coffee and ladyfingers. So as I had mentioned in the beginning, we brewed our coffee first thing. So now my coffee is nice and cold and I had added some sugar in order to make it less bitter. Now tiramisu is originally a boozy dessert. So I have a little bottle of Rhum. You could also use some Italian Marsala. So I'm just going to I'm not sure if I should put the entire thing. This is 50 milliliters, but I prefer it less alcoholic. Let's just see. Okay, so yeah, that should be more than enough. I don't want to make it taste too much like alcohol. So this is basically to your preference. If you don't want to put it, don't put it. And we're just going to mix this coffee. So this is our working station. We have our dish. We have our coffee with the sugar and the alcohol. And we have our ladyfingers. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ladyfinger. I'm going to dip it in the coffee nicely. It gets nice and soaked. And then I'm just going to place it. Actually, let's do it like this. And I'm going to continue. So we want to place the flat part facing down. And we're just going to continue. So at this point, it's honestly just like a game of Tetris. So you just need to align them well. And I'll show you guys once I finish this layer. So as you see, just like a Tetris board, I made everything fit. And now we're going to cover it with our mixture. So we're just not even going to use a spoon. I think it would just be easier if I just poured it like this, just all over. Let me just see how much it is. Obviously we're going to do 2 layers, so we're not going to put everything here, but I could definitely add some more. Like this. So now we're going to continue. So before we put the ladyfingers, we started putting them vertically. Now we're going to put them horizontally. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the later and put the cream, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. I'm not going to lie, this looks awful. So I guess I was wrong. The egg white was kind of ruined at that point when there was a bit of egg yolk in it, because I guess the cream was supposed to be fluffy and now it was just all liquidy, and yeah, it was starting like to overflow. But you know what? I don't know if this thing sets. I'm supposed to put it in the fridge overnight. So basically, the last step to do is we're just gonna take the unsweetened cocoa, and we're just going to powder it on top like this, just to give it a design and I guess hide our mistakes. And then I'm going to cover it. I'll put it in the fridge. Please pray for me. And tomorrow morning to see what has become of this. So here is what it looks like the following day straight out of the fridge. Overall, it looks very good as is. It looks like the cream has somewhat set and it doesn't look too liquidy. I'm going to try cutting a nice piece and I'll show you guys what it looks like at that point. So it is a success. I was able to cut a nice piece. It looks really nice. You know, I had a piece of it before and it tastes phenomenal. Like I was like in awe, to be honest. But you know, it's a bit soft, so it's not as firm for the egg whites. As we saw, I wasn't able to do firm peaks. But overall, it was delicious. It was great. And I really hope you guys give this a try. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. And see you guys next week for another video.